रोटी खाओ वरना मेरी गोली तो है ही। ये नया भारत घर में घुसकर मारता है। चुन चुन करके हिसाब लेना ये मेरी फितरत है।
Hi everyone, welcome to Newsview channel. Namaskar. So there is an agitation which was going on since a long time, and when I say long time, this has been going on since the last 4 years, and this was in Leh and Ladakh. Now today, what has happened is massive protests have broken out in Leh today over demands for statehood and to advance the proposed talks with the government on the extension of the sixth schedule. We'll talk about sixth schedule. What is sixth schedule all about? Now, in the recent development today, whatever has happened, the protest which has broken out, police have fired tear gas and used batons after a section of demonstrators allegedly turned violent and pelted stones. Now, this is not something new which has happened. This is a modus operandi which you have seen into various countries also, which has happened in the past. Where the demonstrators are young people, where stones have been pelted. So anyway, the protesters also tossed the BJP office today, which is in Leh Ladakh, and the youth wing of the LEB, which is the Leh Apex body, And at the same time, they had called for a 35-day hunger strike starting September 10th. Now, during the strike today, 2 people out of 15 were hospitalized, which reportedly triggered the youth wing's call for protest and shutdown. Right? The fresh protest in Ladakh today has come days after the Leh Apex body, which is the LAB, they vote to continue the hunger strike until their demands of statehood and inclusion of Ladakh under the sixth schedule are met. Now, there's an important thing over here in this entire agitation which has been happening for years. You have this climate activist, Sonam Wangchuk, who is also part of the ongoing agitation in the region. So Sonam Wangchuk today has ended the 15-day hunger strike. He was on a 15-day hunger strike since the last 14 days. Today was the 15th day. He ended the hunger strike in Ladakh, in Leh, amid the intense clashes which has happened today. And he also told his supporters he didn't want any more clashes. So, protest today, which has happened in Leh, is led by mostly young men turned violent today in the capital of the Union Territory of Ladakh, which is Leh. And this is 2 days after the Leh Apex body, an independent organization that's been leading the protest, won that public patience was wearing thin when it came to their demands and the government understanding on their demands. So this is what is tried. This is what is happened today in the entire scenario where protests have heavily taken place in the region which is Leh. Now, why is Ladakh seeing youth-led protests? So there are four demands which form the core of unrest. There are four demands over here. The demand is not merely about statehood, but extends to a wider set of and focused on preserving the unique character of the mostly tribal region. Let's try and understand this. So the LEB had announced, which was this week, which was yesterday on Monday, that its leaders won't end their hunger strike until their demands were met. Right? But then today we see that the hunger strike has been called out by Sonam Wangchuk, and that is because of the incident which has been reported today. Right now, the famous activist, we have this activist Sonam Wangchuk was part of this ongoing strike and was under the umbrella of the LAB. Though he has condemned the violence today as non-cynical, and ended his strike in disgust today after the protest has broken out. Now, so let's try and understand the history. The LAB, which is the Leh Apex body, along with the Kargil Democratic Alliance, which is the KDA, has been in dialogue with the Ministry of Home Affairs over its demands for which they have been agitating for the last 4 years. Right? This particular demonstration has been happening for the last 4 years. So Sonam Wangchuk, had said on Monday that the BJP-led central government, right, made a promise to include Ladakh under the sixth schedule of the constitution. We'll try and understand what the sixth schedule is. He stressed that the promise should be fulfilled before the upcoming Hill Council polls. Now, what are the major demands of this Leh Ladakh protest? Though the demands have been there ever since Ladakh was made a union territory, one of the two UTs, if you remember, upon Jammu and Kashmir state's division in 2019, right? The year 2024 saw it transform into a significant agitation. Now, the UT of Jammu and Kashmir got an assembly and had since got its first elected government too. But Ladakh remained more centrally governed. Even today, if you see, Ladakh is centrally governed. Now, people rallied around a 4 point agenda. The 4 point agenda was statehood for Ladakh. Then it was inclusion of Ladakh under the sixth schedule of the Indian Constitution, setting up a separate public service commission for Ladakh, and two parliamentary seats for Ladakh as against one it has for now. Now let's try and understand what is this sixth schedule, right? And the Ministry of Home Affairs, had reportedly agreed to discuss only the last two demands, right? Separate service commission and two Lok Sabha seats instead of one. And it allegedly rejected the demands for a statehood and the sixth schedule outrightly. The counter argument to the statehood demand has been that the Ladakh has now already got UT status that it was demanding even when it was part of a Jammu Kashmir state. But the sixth schedule demand has its own ramifications also, right? Now, the sixth schedule, as defined under Article 244, this is very important to understand. Please try and understand what is this sixth schedule, which is one of the pointers mentioned by the Leh Apex body. The sixth schedule, as defined under Article 244, grants greater autonomy to tribal areas such as those in Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram. You have Tripura also, right? So you have these ADCs, which are autonomous district councils. They manage the land use, inheritance laws, and social customs. Now, ADCs hold legislative, executive, and financial powers with the ability to collect taxes and manage local resources. ADCs can make laws that supersede those of the state, albeit with approval by the governor. Now, at present, the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, which is LAHDC, have executive powers for district level planning and development. So, this is basically what is the sixth sense we are speaking of, the sixth sense schedule, right? So that is the entire context of it, and that is the point which the government said that we are not going to discuss on it because that has already been fulfilled when Ladakh was asking for being a UT out of the Jammu and Kashmir government state. So the only two pointers which the MHA or the Ministry of Home Affairs was planning to discuss or were trying to have a discussion on with the demands out of the four demands which these people had put in was about the Lok Sabha seat, which is two instead of one, and the other was the statehood. That is the demand which they had put out. This the separate service commission or the sixth schedule, and the yeah, they were planning to discuss the separate service commission, right, and the two Lok Sabha seats, but then the government rejected any discussions on the sixth schedule, that we cannot have any discussion on this. And that is where the protest is. That is where the protest is going on, where they want a discussion on these 4 points, but government was that we would have a discussion on these 2 points. There's another major thing which has happened or which is ongoing, and there's a dissatisfaction among the public over there in Ladakh, which is the unemployment rate, right? And if you look at the unemployment, the unemployment has been a major issue with the people over there. Unemployment and the slow pace of government recruitment. The government recruitment, as per the general public over there, has been pretty slow. So that has angered the youth also over there. So that's where the demand for a separate service commission comes from, because of the unemployment rate over there and the slow recruitment procedure in Leh and Ladakh. Now, a recent government survey said 26.5% of graduates in Ladakh are unemployed. The same rate of the whole country, when you talk about the unemployment, it was at 13.4%. The data showed the highest unemployment in Andaman Nicobar Islands at 33%, and then with Ladakh second at the worst, which was 26.5%. And then you have Andhra Pradesh at 24% among all the states and union territories. So that is one of the major concerns also coming out from there, which is the unemployment and the slow recruitment process. Uh, let's see how this pans out, and I feel the government needs to act swiftly on this before it snowballs into a major disaster. But at the same time, um, the development which has happened today is not desired at all, and I'm sure there we might hear in the coming days that there was some, because try and understand this. So this was a peaceful protest which was going on, and this protest was going on, right? This agitation was going on since the last 4 years, right? Now, is there some sinister minds which have come in between, again, like we have seen in different countries happening? Because this peaceful protest today turning violent raises eyebrows. And there are reports that there are some elements who tried to disrupt the peaceful protest and who started this agitation and the protest today. So we'll have to watch this very, very carefully. We have to we have to keep our ears and eyes open over there. And my request to the people of Leh and Ladakh, please let's not have this scenario created where it has happened in other countries also. Let's keep our eyes and ears open and understand what is happening. The government is there to help the people, the government is there to support the people. Let's come to the table and discuss on the same. Thank you for watching Newsview channel. One last thing, please subscribe to the channel, and please share, and please like, and please leave comments if you feel there's something which needs to be shared across. Thank you for now watching Newsview channel. Have a nice day. Thank you.